Hi everyone, this is Myubae. Welcome back to my new video. If you're new here, hello, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. This is the first video of the Manga Log. The Manga Log is a new series I want to try out on my channel. The series is split into a couple of parts. First, I'll describe the manga series, then I'll share my thoughts on the series and share a couple stories that I may have depending on the manga. In each episode, I'm going to talk about 5 series and try to keep them short. Let's get right to it. First up is My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia is an action and superhero series written by Kohei Horikoshi. The people in this world are born with powers called quirks. The story is about a boy named Izuku Midoriya who is born without a quirk. His biggest dream is to become a hero like his favorite hero, All Might. One day, Izuku meets All Might and their encounter changes Izuku's life for the better. I'm caught up with the physical copies of the series. I read what happened in season 4 of the anime and parts where season 5 begins. In the physical copies, season 4 starts in volume 14 and ends in volume 21. Volume 21 is also where season 5 begins. I read through the part where Class A goes against Class B. I thought it was good. I liked seeing some of the characters from Class B. I enjoyed learning what kind of quirks they have. There's another arc where the villains get some attention. We meet a new character, and if I remember correctly, he's part of the Meta Liberation Army. The new character causes trouble for the villains. I really want to know what happens next since it left off on a big fight. The next series is One Punch Man. One Punch Man is an action, comedy, and superhero series created by One. It's a story about a guy named Saitama who underwent 3 years of intense training to become a hero. He developed extraordinary powers, one of which is the ability to defeat his enemies with a single punch. I reread volumes 1 through 10 and read up to the newest volume. It was a good refresher to read parts of what happened from season 1 of the anime. I haven't seen season 2, but I did like the parts that happened in the manga. I'll check out the second season to see how it goes since I heard mixed reviews about it. After reading through the volumes, I started to like Saitama. Some of the things he does in the story is funny. In volume 20, I was a little sad that Saitama wasn't in it as much, but I liked seeing the other heroes from different classes too. Now I have a story about the 2 superhero manga I mentioned. I was at Barnes & Noble and I was looking through the new releases in the manga section. I met a fellow anime and manga fan who randomly started talking to me. We talked about all the series we watched and read. A woman approached the both of us and said, "Excuse me, I'm looking for some manga I want to get for my teenage son. What recommendations do you girls have?" The girl I was talking to went ahead and suggested a lot of slice of life series.
Read this.
I noticed the woman didn't seem to be interested in what the girl was recommending. Nothing wrong with slice of life, there were good recommendations. The lady was just not interested. I asked her, "Does your son like superheroes or superhero comics?" She said, "Yes, my son likes those things." I replied, "That's great. If he likes superheroes, then he should definitely check out My Hero Academia or One Punch Man." I described both series to her and pointed out the manga series on the shelf. The first volume of My Hero Academia wasn't there, but she picked up the first 2 volumes of One Punch Man. She thanked me and went to the register to buy the 2 volumes. This was the first time I recommended a series to someone I don't know. It was kinda neat. Here's Dreaming Sun. Dreaming Sun is a romance series by the same author who wrote Orange, Ichigo Takano. It's about a girl named Shimano Kamiko who's unhappy with her living situation. Shimano's mom passed away when she was young. Her father and stepmom focused their attention mostly to her younger brother. One day, Shimano decided to skip school and ran away from home. She found a man named Fujiwara Taiga who wears a kimono. Fujiwara and Shimano talked about Shimano's situation. Fujiwara offered Shimano a place to stay but had 3 conditions for her to do. 1, she has to tell Fujiwara why she ran away. 2nd, she has to get Fujiwara's house key from one of the guys he knows. And finally, the 3rd condition was to have a dream and fall in love with someone. Now, the question is, will she be able to fulfill all the 3 conditions? After I finished reading the first volume, I thought the story had a Fruits Basket vibe. I'm going to compare Fruits Basket and Dreaming Sun a little. There might be a light spoiler or two, so to be safe, please skip a couple seconds ahead. Now that I warned you, here we go. There's no Soma's secret in this story. Toru is on her own. Shimana is kind of on her own too. Shimana's mom died at a young age, like Toru lost her mother. Shimana and Toru stays with 3 guys and may potentially fall in love with one of them. Fujiwara reminds me of Shigure because of the way he dresses. I like the story, I like the art style, I'll definitely continue reading more of Dreaming Sun. The next series I read is The Girl from the Other Side. The Girl from the Other Side is a fantasy, mystery, and supernatural series by Nagabe. The world in this story is split into 2. The outside, this is where the beasts are, and if you get touched by one, you'll be cursed. The other is the inside. This is where humans live. The story is about a little girl named Shiva and her guardian, who is a beast that goes by the name Teacher. It tells the tale of their friendship and what they do in that world. The Girl from the Other Side has a fairy tale-like vibe. I like Shiva and Teacher. I like Nagabe's art style. It's a nice read. I don't want to give a lot of the story away, but I will say that I had so many questions after reading the 8th volume. What will happen to Shiva? Who was the mystery person talking to Shiva? What will happen to Teacher since he's been acting a bit strange? Hopefully, the 9th volume will give me some of the answers. October can't come soon enough. Now this is how I got into The Girl from the Other Side. I was at Barnes & Noble, and I've been to that store so many times that I think one of the employees recognizes me whenever I drop by. There's a girl who works at the DVD audiobook section. She's really cool. She's a fellow anime and manga fan, which is a bonus. We talked about the items I got every time I check out at the register. One time I got The Ancient Magus Bride. The girl at the register said, "Oh, I like that series. Have you read The Girl from the Other Side?" I told her, no, I haven't. She told me a little bit of the story and said if I liked The Ancient Magus Bride, then I might like The Girl from the Other Side. I went back to the manga section right away and looked for the manga. I got a copy of the first volume. I started reading it in the car on my way home. The next time I went to Barnes & Noble, I picked up the 2nd volume. The Barnes & Noble girl was really nice and knows some good series. I don't know if she left because of the pandemic that's going on now. I would be a little sad if she did. I really enjoy talking to store employees who genuinely care about their customers. Finally, I read Descending Stories. Descending Stories Showa Gunroku Rakugo Shinju is a historical series by Haruko Kumata. The story is about Rakugo. Rakugo is the art of Japanese storytelling. The story focuses on several characters. One part talks about the story of Yotaro, a guy who was recently released from prison. He wanted to do Rakugo because he enjoyed the performance of a famous Rakugo performer, Yakumo Yurokute VIII. He also wants to be Yakumo's apprentice. Speaking of Yakumo, the story focuses on him too. Yakumo tells the story on how he got into Rakugo. He also talks about how Rakugo was like during his time, how he found his style of Rakugo, and talks about his friend and rival Sogoroku. In one of my previous videos, I said, for those who've never seen or heard of Showa Gunroku Rakugo Shinju, I recommend watching the anime first before buying the manga. I'm gonna change my recommendation a little bit since I finished reading the first 3 volumes. I'm still going to encourage you to check out the anime because it was really good and deserves some love. The manga is slightly different from the anime in the beginning during Yotaro's story, but the anime covers most of the scenes in the manga. The first 3 volumes doesn't cover all of season 1. You need to continue reading to see how season 1 ends or seeing Yakumo's backstory and also see season 2. The manga is good. I like the art style. I like how they include some translation notes at the back of the book, like Wotakoi includes translation notes too. I find this helpful. I also like how they included the Rakugo stories in the volumes and tells you what page it was on. I also like the bonus chapters. They're interesting and you will learn something new. Here are my recommendations for the series. For the manga, check out the first 3 volumes. I think the story is good and so are the characters. There are only 10 volumes for Descending Stories. It's not very long compared to other series. For the anime, it's also very good. If you're not 100% sure if you want to get the manga, then watch a handful of episodes. The first episode in season 1 is the longest, around 47 minutes, but the rest of the episodes are 24 minutes long. 2 seasons, 12 to 13 episodes in each season. I will say I like the Rakugo performance more in the anime than the manga. I personally like seeing the expression of the characters when they perform. I like seeing the body language and gestures the characters make. I find that more entertaining. The series is not for everyone. However, Descending Stories is one of those series you should read or watch at least once. And that wraps up the Manga Log. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!